Hey folks, well, I'm going to paint the insides of this thing with black nail polish, and I'm going to carefully not get it on the lens and mess it up. But there's this lens cover where I need to paint under, and how do you get underneath there? Well, you have to take this cover off. And my intent was just to show you that this is the target areas to paint. Well, a lot of folks are going to ask, well, how do you paint underneath here and how do you get the cap off? So I decided, okay, I'm going to just take this off and show you folks how to do it. So there's several screws. In this camera, what you need to do is you need to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. The top has 2 detents that function in place of screws. This is actually a very well optimized camera, very well designed. A lot of people don't realize what great engineering this little piece of camera is. So there's these screws on the sides are shorter. I've taken many of these apart to fiddle with and play around. But the side screws, these 3 side screws are short, and the bottom screws are actually slightly longer. I think they have like an extra thread or 2 engaged for I guess more strength, more holding power. But these 2 go on the bottom, so make sure when you put these screws back, the longer ones go on the bottom. It's hard to tell if you don't pay attention. They're slightly longer. It's because I've taken this. I mean, the short ones will fit, no doubt, but because I take apart instrumentation all the time, I tend to be more aware of these things. So anyways, just thought I'd warn you guys so you guys don't really jack it up. I mean, you can hardly tell. You have to look closely to really see that there's an extra thread or 2, thread and a half. So, and you gotta be careful when you take apart this thing. There's a little rubber where you take it apart from the bottom and then slide it up like this. You gotta be careful because there is a rubber piece here. There's a little rubber band piece here that gotta be careful here because it pops out, and once it pops out, sometimes it flies out. Yeah, there's a, oh crap, it fell out. Shoot, it fell on the ground. Oh, there, I found it. I better pick it up with tweezers so I don't mangle it. There it is. Yeah, if you're not paying attention and the thing flies out, you don't know where it is, and then you're really screwed. But anyways, what this thing does, this little circular gasket, it's a rubber band, is that when it closes, it doesn't whack the heck out of this thing and start denting the metal. You know, it doesn't go cack. So this rubber thing, make sure you don't lose that. And then there's another piece here. There's another rubber piece you got to be careful with. That is the bushing, and you can lift this whole sucker up, but what I do is I try to keep that in place so it doesn't disappear on me. Where is it? Oh crap. There. It's a brass bushing. So keep that there. And that's it. That takes the camera off. I mean, that takes the lens cover off right here. Put this right here. Right there. And then now see I got some fingerprints on it. Now I gotta clean it. Typically I like to use acetone, but right now I don't have acetone, so I'll have to settle on Windex. Yeah, acetone is pretty much, well, nail polish remover is typically acetone. So you can buy one of those small bottles. And the nice part about those, why I like the nail department, is because they come in nice little handy bottles, like small miniaturized compartmentalized things. They don't come in these big old jugs. So I'll just wipe enough just to take the oil off. Basically this thing is pretty much fingerprint less. And in the V570 there's a little light here. There's a little LED. Yeah, I paint over the LED. It's a focus assist. The LED, I believe, sends out a light in the infrared band, and it helps the camera to focus. I mean, you can see it. You can see it's orange. It's an orange colored light. But I typically just paint over it because I keep it wide angle and it's always in focus anyway. So I paint over it several times because one layer of black nail polish isn't going to cut it, because it isn't that, I mean, it isn't that thick. It's actually a very thin coat of nail polish, and I have to paint over it many times really to get the opaqueness that I want. You can see that you can kind of still see through it, right? So pretty much, yeah, I put on like several layers, and I don't make it really thick all at one time because it'll get sticky. It'll be hard to dry, and that's not what I want. I really want it to dry, and but I don't want it thick. I want it thin. So this requires several coatings, like I don't know, 10 coatings. But the nice thing is, it's not like spray paint. I mean, this sucker is really tough. It can handle the lens cover sliding back and forth on it like thousands of times, and it's not gonna wear. It is really a tough. I mean, they make nail polish for toughness, and it really is tough. Now, the one thing you got to be careful of is, you know, I've never painted the lens ever. Even with a Sharpie, I've never done it because I know once you do that, you really screw up your camera, and that's just a no-no. You just got to pay attention and don't do it. Don't be an idiot. Yeah, watch me do it, right? On a camera that's never been powered on. Brand new camera, right? Alright. Well, anyway, you guys get the idea. That's basically how I do it. I go over it with multiple coats until finally it's black. And yeah, right now it just looks like gray, but eventually this whole thing will be blackened. And I think I got another bottle of this, which is thicker. That's a little darker than this. I don't know. That's not as thin. This is really thin. Maybe in the second or third coat it'll start getting black. We'll see. But I gotta let this coat dry first. I usually paint around the periphery really carefully first. Then I go do the rest. Usually the periphery is the one where you can goof off the most and screw it up. Yeah. Yeah, this one takes about a couple days because you paint it, you let it dry for an hour, and then you paint it again, you let it dry for an hour, and you go back to it, and then eventually you get the coating you want, and it's just tough as nails. I mean, it really is a tough paint. But you don't want it thick, because if it's thick, it gets really sticky. I mean, thick as in one thick coat. You want to do many multiple coats. Alright. That's it for now.